that private matter became the focal point of this very important prosecution.
Nathan Wade there, the former Fulton County special prosecutor involved in the Georgia election interference case against former President Donald Trump, now speaking out with an ABC News exclusive, talking about his relationship with DA Fani Willis.
Yeah, Wade speaking out for the first time this weekend since resigning from the case after a public disqualification battle over his relationship with the DA. We'll bring in now Charlie Colleen and Bianca Garcia. Charlie is a political strategist for Red PAC. Bianca is president of Latinos for Trump. Thank you both for being on. We do appreciate that. Bianca, I'll start with you on this one. The soundbite that's getting play right now is former special prosecutor on the case in Georgia and Fulton County, Nathan Wade, says workplace romances are as American as apple pie. What is your response to that?
Well, this is how the Democrats do it. They do it well. They spin everything that they can possibly spin that's dirty and nasty and ugly, and to try to sell it to the American people as if it's, as good as apple pie. This is totally expected from them. It's pretty much a disgrace. They've been ousted, exposed, and the American people now know the truth, and they're not liking it. So they're trying to spin it to their advantage. And, they're the ones that push on this, you can't, sexual harassment in the workplace. They're the ones that really push for that. And here you are having a relationship at work and you get exposed and you want to sell it as a great piece of apple pie.
And married, that's the other context you want to keep in mind as well throughout this.
Well, also the fact that Fani Willis remains on the case, Charlie. This is still proceeding, and you have to keep in mind the players now in the mix. We're talking about a former president of the United States, the presumptive Republican nominee, and you've got all this in the background of the case. How does this play into the American public consuming what's happening in Georgia?
Well, what this really speaks to is like a larger issue of government transparency. So these two have a special relationship, and when you look at the nuts and bolts of how he was hired, why he stayed on, his billing practices with Fulton County, and just being able to pursue this. I mean, the American people can see that something is wrong here. The judge took him off the case for a reason. And ultimately, it's been a big win for the Trump campaign from a PR perspective.
I want to move on to, if we can, to South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. She's facing more controversy. Remember this new book that's coming out. The Guardian reportedly got a hold of a few excerpts from it and put out. Now she's making the rounds here on the shows. This is one of those moments. Watch this.
I remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. I've been a children's pastor, after all. Did you meet Kim Jong-un?
Well, as soon as this was brought to my attention, I certainly made some changes and looked at this passage. And I've met with many, many world leaders. I've traveled around the world. As soon as it was brought to my attention, we went forward and have made some edits.
All right, so a major moment there, and just for context, the new book, No Going Back, you see the cover here, includes a false anecdote about a meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un while she served as the state's representative in Congress, according to reports. Noem already facing backlash for how she described shooting and killing her 14-month-old dog Cricket in an incident she said happened 20 years ago. Noem's spokesperson reportedly telling several news outlets the story is not accurate and the book will be corrected. They are removing that, retracting that statement there, or that passage, if you will. I'll go back to Bianca on this one. At one time, she's considered a possible VP contender with Trump. She was with him in Mar-a-Lago recently, but again, it's already been pointed out publicly that she would not be, or her chances are very minimal as being considered as a VP pick for Trump at this point moving forward, Bianca.
Well, let me weigh in on this. I've got two things. I'm honored and privileged right now to be traveling with General Michael Flynn on his Flynn movie tour, delivering the truth, whatever the cost. I've spoken to thousands of people across 23 states now. And one of the things that I've got to applaud her for doing is for telling the truth. The American people right now across this country want transparency. They want truth. Whatever it is that the truth may be, and if it hurts, they want the truth. They don't want optics. They don't want lies. They want people to tell them the honest truth about what's going on. So I applaud her for going back and for, correcting the error that was made. People will probably respect her more for doing that and coming forward and saying, that was an error on my part and correcting it. People want transparency and they want truth across the country right now. And so on another note, with the dog, it's interesting how they want to nitpick on something that happened 20 years ago with what at the time, her dog was deemed as, whether it was attacking the children or her neighbors or whatsoever. I want to thank NewsMax because I was part of a rescue mission at Colony Ridge over in Texas not too long ago. And you all helped us bring the truth about what was going on in Colony Ridge. And I don't see any of these dog lovers right now coming out and speaking about the abuse and neglect of animals in Colony Ridge right now when we rescued 100 dogs and we didn't even make a dent in that community. Yeah. So where's the outrage of people there with these dog lovers?
Yeah,
this is currently happening, not 20 years ago. Where's the outrage? Where are all these dog lovers right now?
All right, and we just had John O'Hurley on. He's a great advocate when it comes to dogs and seeing them succeed in life. Again, that new book is coming out. Some corrections already made in the process, though. So getting to the truth of the matter, I guess, in the second version. Charlie and Bianca, thank you very much for coming on. Political Panel, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, where we honor the lives of those lost in the horrific massacre orchestrated